Good morning. My name is Adair Gilbert, and I live on this property now. My husband and I do. We have been here since the early 1980s. We've been here for 41 years, and my father did a lot of the upgrades and the improvements in the forestry area. They came back in 1944. We are right on the Chattahoochee River.
I'm Wade Watley. I'm nephew. We've started, it was about 12 years ago, started with the cow herd, kind of went through and culled everything and pretty much started over, and we're up to 175 cows is what we're breeding now, and rotate the pastures, done a lot of fencing and do rotational grazing. We've started running the cattle in the woods to kind of help with the understory and give more relief on the permanent pastures, and it's really worked out pretty well for us.
My father was with the Soil Conservation Service, which is what it was called then, in North Georgia, and he really was an advocate of planting trees where they needed to be planted. He came back here and he looked at what was being done on the farm, and he started planting trees. Well, at the time, the loblolly was the big one. Now, in the last 12 years or so, we've gotten involved with planting longleaf. We've got quite a few acres of longleaf. In fact, we have about 130 or so acres that were just planted this spring in longleaf as reforestation. We have also planted slash pine, loblolly, but this time we planted the cloned loblolly trees, and we are, as far as I can tell, one of the few farms that has the cloned trees on it. My dad said you plant the right tree, the right crop, where it should be planted.
Biggest advantage that we've seen with the silvopasture is really just giving the permanent pasture some rest and getting them out and get them in the woods and let them kind of pick around and clean up. And some of the places that we have some washes in the woods from logging or along the roads or something, we'll feed hay there and kind of mulch the road back and get some grass growing in some of these wash spots.
We're happy with what we've got. Mm-hmm. And can I just say briefly about where we are? This is an old barn that was built in probably late 1800s, early 1900s. It's put together with wooden pegs, and there are beams in the barn that look to me like they're about 8x8s maybe, and they're hand hewn, and they run all the way across the barn or the length of the barn. These probably were harvested on this farm back in the late 1800s.
We do burning pretty much every year, kind of do a rotational. The biggest advantage for us with the burning is just kind of knock that understory back and try to help clean some of these places up and reset everything for the wildlife and just kind of create more of a better habitat for the wildlife and for the tortoises and for the quail. And we use fire a lot, and it's really made a tremendous difference in the property itself.
Our consultant forestry is Southern Forestry Consultants. So he sits down with us with your plan, and we go through and we come together and say, this is what we see that we need here. We sit down with our management plan that the forestry guys have put together, that Brady has put together for us, and we go over that and we see where are we, what are we doing next. In other words, we're in sync, and we make all of this work together. We are stewards of what the Lord has given us, and to share with people that we have an obligation to share with other people, and to give them a glimpse of what they can do, and to encourage them to be involved with the forestry folks.